How do you build a stockpile without breaking the budget? That's what we're going to answer today. Hello, everyone, and welcome to SuttonsDaze. If you're new here, my name is Lisa. We are all about pantry preparedness. And welcome to Stocktober. It is a month of pantry preparedness. It's going to be so much fun. We're going to bring you all kinds of really great information on how you can stock your pantry. Let's get started. In today's video, we are going to talk about the why. Why stockpiling even matters. Why building a pantry matters. Why it should matter. The what. What kinds of things should you stock up in your pantry? Because everyone wants to know about that too. And the how. How to build it slowly and affordably. And how much? Oh my gosh, how much, right? How much food, how much supplies each person really needs. By the end of this, my hope is that you will have a step-by-step plan that works, whether you're just starting out or whether you're looking to fine-tune your existing pantry. Why do we want to build a pantry? Why do we want to stockpile a pantry? It is the best insurance that money can buy, quite honestly. It's there for you in times of need, whether that is medical issues, job loss, financial issues, any number of scenarios that everyday life tosses at us. Our pantry is there to make things a little bit easier, to give us one less thing to be concerned about. And in today's world, that's really a beautiful thing. This was literally how people lived forever until the powers that be decided that they would convince us it was more important to have convenience than to have something more sustainable. So we're bringing it back, we're reeling it in, and we're teaching you one by one how to build a pantry that will see you through life's ups and downs. Think about the last few years, all of the fun that we've had, right? We've seen inflation drive grocery bills higher and higher and higher. We've seen shipping shutdowns. We've seen port strikes. We've seen weather events. And we've seen tariffs and crop failures. I mean, I don't ask what's next because that's opening the door. Having a stockpile, having a pantry means that you're not at the mercy of those outside forces. It brings a peace of mind. It helps you stretch your budget when you just don't think you can. It really makes a big difference in your safety and your security and that of the people in your household. So exactly what do we stockpile? Okay, what you don't stockpile is those buckets of pre-made meals, 72 hours worth of food. Don't do it. If it's not something that you would eat any Tuesday, don't stock it up. You know what I mean? You want to stock up the kinds of foods that you eat. And when you stock them up, you want to eat them. Stock what you eat what you stock. You want to rotate it through. If you're looking for a one and done fix, this is not for you, but it should be for you, okay? Starting a pantry, building a pantry, sustaining a pantry is a constant effort. Is it always like, oh my gosh, we have to get it done today? It is never that way. It is never supposed to be that way, okay? It is something that you do slowly over time so that you can build it up properly, so that you can actually put the food that you and yours like to eat in your pantry so that you have what you need. It is never about a 72-hour emergency bucket of dried food that is carb laden and sodium laden. That makes absolutely no sense except for the people selling it to you. We're going to break it down, hopefully, into very easy categories. So the first one is grains and carbs. Grains and carbs are important. I know I've got keto and carnivore people out there going, I don't need them. Then don't stock them. If you literally don't eat them and never intend to eat them again, do not stock them, okay? But grains and carbs, rice, pasta, oats, flour, bread mixes, you know, that kind of stuff. These are cheap calories that store really well and they fill bellies. And that's what we're looking for in a pantry. A 25-pound bag of rice costs just a few dollars per person and gives you over 200 servings. That's right. You're not supposed to eat 10 pounds of rice at a sitting, okay? A serving is, I think, a half a cup. So it's making sure that you're doing it proportionately so that you're not killing yourself, you know? The next one is proteins. Proteins are super important, as my keto and carnivore people will tell you. Canned chicken, tuna, salmon, Spam, peanut butter, seed butters, even freeze-dried eggs, okay? Any of your if you're a home canner, canned beef, canned ground beef, canned pork, any of that. Yes, canned venison is the bomb. It's the best venison out there, okay? And if your budget allows, the freeze-dried versions of said also. Those are perfect. Protein is essential for energy and muscle health. It's just one of those things that we need. Does it have to be meat? No. No. And your vegetarians and your vegans will tell you it doesn't have to be. There are a lot of plant-based ways that you can also get protein. A golden rule of thumb is 50 to 60 grams of protein per person per day. 50 to 60 grams of protein per person per day. And then there's me, who averages 60 grams of protein per meal per day, okay? Because I definitely work towards eating extra protein as opposed to anything else. But you calculate how you eat and what works for you. How many cans or jars will you need if you're multiplying that out? Time to do some math. Vegetables and fruits. Vegetables and fruits are key, and they taste good, right? Canned, freeze-dried, or home preserved. 6 1/2 dozen the other. You can do it all. These bring fiber, vitamins, and variety to your meals. Aim for 1 to 2 servings per person per day. 1 to 2 servings of fruit, 1 to 2 servings of vegetable per person per day, okay? And it will serve you really, really well. Fats and oils. You need fats and oils. You need fat. It's what makes your brain work. It what lubes everything up, right? Olive oil, shortening, ghee, coconut oil. Those are the top ones right there. Fats provide dense calories and make meals satisfying, because if you can make things crispy, they taste better, right? But buy smaller bottles if you don't use them quickly, because they do go rancid. They're only really good for about 6 months to a year tops. If you want to make them last longer, by all means, store them in the freezer, okay? But don't buy copious amounts, because it won't serve you well. Dairy and dairy alternatives. Powdered milk. I strongly encourage everyone to have some powdered milk in their pantry. I don't drink milk. You wouldn't know that looking at the amount of powdered milk that I keep in the pantry, okay? Because it's good for so many different things. Powdered milk, evaporated milk, shelf-stable cartons. You can get them all over the place now. These are great for baking, for sauces, or if you do drink milk, just a glass of milk when the fridge is empty, you know? Flavor and comfort items. Those are important. Yes, they are. Don't forget salt, sugar, spices, coffee, tea, especially coffee, right? These make our meals enjoyable and keep morale up, because even when things are bad, if you can flavor things different, you could have rice and beans literally 7 days a week and have it never taste the same if you season it differently. That right there is a game changer, you know? So being able to have the seasonings that you and your household enjoy to use on the food that you store is important. Salt is important. Not a gallon of it, you know, but salt is important. I am also a huge advocate of pepper, but coffee, I mean, it's coffee. Non-food essentials, because it's not always about the food, right? Yeah, it really isn't. You need these other things too. So think toilet paper. Yes, I know there's bidets out there, okay? I highly recommend having one, but toilet paper is nice. Soap, dish soap, cleaning supplies. Literally, you need vinegar, you need bleach, you know, peroxide. Okay, you're good. Being prepared isn't just about eating. It's also being able to keep up and keep hygienic, you know, keep things cleaned, keep things taken care of, and non-food essentials will help you do that. Now, remember, you don't need to buy these all at once. That's not how we roll here. No, we're building slowly. We're building intentionally. So how do I do this without breaking the budget? Well, that's what we're going to talk about now. So first, you're going to start with what you eat. Track what you eat for a week. Track what your household eats for a week and how much of it they eat. It's not hard to do. Grab a notepad, grab a Post-it note, just write it down, Take notebook into your kitchen and write down the meals you cook on normal days in a normal week when the kids are running back and forth to school and programs and when you're going to work and back and when, all the things, a normal week for you and your household. Make sure to write that all down. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, the whole kit and caboodle. Now, when you get that written down, you need to figure out what ingredients that you would need if you wanted to make those same meals for 30 days. That right there is your foundation. Are you going to eat the same 7 meals every single week for a month? Probably not. So you need to take a look then at, okay, do I need to do this for an additional week? But while you're mapping out week 2, week 3, week 4, you can begin building your stockpile off of what you had written down for week 1. That's your foundation right there. That is how you start. Next, you will do the 10% method. I know. Every time you shop, add 10% more of what you already buy, if you can afford it. Even if it's just an extra can or an extra box or an extra bag, okay? Just add a little bit more of what you already buy without blowing your budget or pulling out a credit card. If you would normally get 2 cans of green beans, get a third one. Tuck it back on the shelf. You're good. If you buy 1 bag of pasta, grab 2. Okay, there you go. That's your 10%, right? Those extras will build you an amazing solid cushion that will see you through super hard times. Next, you're going to learn to shop the sales and the markdowns. Look for the markdowns, okay? But things like canned vegetables, canned fruits, pastas, those 10 for 10 kind of sales that you see all the time, those happen every 6 to 8 weeks. And so you can map that out when you see them, determine when the next one's coming, and start planning for that one too, while you take a little bit of advantage of the one that's happening currently. Those are the sales that get people in the door to spend money on a bunch of other stuff they don't need. So let's take advantage of it, Grocery stores run in cycles. Items go on sale every 6 to 8 weeks. Just pay attention to what's happening around you and you're good. When you see a rock bottom price, like, oh my gosh, clearance or something like that, stock up more. If you can afford to buy extra, buy extra. As you move forward in this process, you will find that you're saving money because you're not having to buy everything every single time. So that extra grocery money can be set aside to take advantage of those really great stock up deals. It's like giving yourself a raise. Number 4 is to buy bulk strategically. And unfortunately, you're going to have to math for this one, right? A giant bag of flour or rice may be cheaper per pound, but only if you can store it properly. So if you don't have a way to store it properly so that it doesn't bring in guests or, have hitchhikers tag along on it, then you're wasting money and you're creating a whole nother issue. So make sure that you have something to store it in. Do I have to have Mylar bags? No, you don't. You have to have airtight containers. That's really all you need, airtight containers, okay? And repackage that stuff into the airtight containers. Team up with family or friends and split some of those bulk items. You can save because you're splitting the cost. That's a lower cost for a higher amount. And then you don't have to worry so much about where am I going to put it. Number 5, preserve food yourself. I'm a strong advocate of this, okay? You can go to the store and you can buy canned chicken all day, but you will never get it at a better price and a better quality than the canned chicken that you can at home with your pressure canner. There's only one right way to do it, and you will never be sorry for having taken the time to learn that skill. It will serve you tons. If you can't pressure can or you don't want to pressure can, don't tell me you're scared, because your car is more dangerous than the canner, okay? But if you just don't want to, you can freeze it, okay? Not a problem. There's some stuff you can dehydrate, not all of it, but some. Garden, if you can garden, can dehydrate. Those are all huge money savers if you do them right. Even buying produce in season at the farmer's market and preserving it will save you in the long term. It's beautiful. Number 6, probably one of the most important aspects of this is to avoid debt. Avoid debt. You don't want to go into debt to get a full pantry. You are not saving money that way. You are actually putting yourself higher at risk by doing so. So don't build your stockpile on a credit card. That's not the way to go. Preparedness should bring you peace of mind. It should bring you calmness. It should not have you transferring panic about one area over to another area. That doesn't solve a problem. It just creates a substitute problem. Slow and steady wins the race every single time. You won't regret it. Nobody did it overnight. I didn't do it overnight. It took me years. It takes other people years to get to the point where they're like, I can breathe. Okay. Because it's always a constant learning process. You're always learning new things because you're changing what you do or don't eat. Your family is changing what they do or don't eat. And so you are going to be always in a bit of a mode of flux, because that's just the way life works. And it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. So don't go into debt. Don't go crazy with it. Build it slow and steady. Learn what you and your household like when you like it. Some people like certain things in the fall. Some people like certain things in the summer. You know, it really depends. So you can do it. You just have to work the process, just like any other process. Work the process, trust the process, learn to trust yourself. Lastly, you want to make sure that you're keeping track of what you have. What is that called? Well, I call it inventory, or auditing your pantry. Yes, okay. An inventory list of your pantry will save you from buying 5 bags of oats because you forgot you already had 10, you know? Organization saves money every single time. By inventorying your pantry, by writing it down, by seeing what you're using, at least quarterly, then you see how much each thing you use per quarter, you know? And that helps you figure out how much you need to build it up, because you're going to work with the rule of threes with this. The first thing is to start, you want a 3-day pantry. Enough food in your pantry to sustain your household for 3 days, the meals that you normally eat. Once you have mastered that, then the next goal is 3 weeks. Yes. And you build up slowly because you're still learning. And you build it up to the point where, oh, wow, I have 3 weeks worth of food for all the meals that my household eats. Okay. Yay. High five for you. Yet you're not done. Nope. Sorry. Next, you're going to build up for 3 months worth of food. It really isn't as much as you think it is. You're going to build up to 3 months of food, and you are going to rock it because you're getting really, really good at this. Okay. Now, after you get to that 3 months, eventually aim for a year if it fits your lifestyle. Not everybody needs to have a year. A lot of people, myself included, are more comfortable with that, knowing that the unknown can come at you at any time. But 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months, a year. That is how you slowly build it up, and then you just keep right on maintaining it. It's great. So what do you need for a 3-month supply? We're going to do an average here, okay? So here's a per person guide that you can adapt, because the rule is that if you don't eat it, don't stock it. You're wasting money. Period. That's it. If you don't eat it, don't stock it. When you stock it, make sure you're eating it. Make sure you're rotating it into your menus, because it's there to be used, not to stare at. So for one person for 3 months, this is what you're looking at, okay? 25 pounds of rice or grains. Rice or grains, that incorporates a lot. That's your pasta, that's your rice, that's your oatmeal, you know, that farro, all of that stuff, okay? So 25 pounds total. 20 to 30 cans of protein, like chicken, tuna, beans, if you eat them. They now have canned meat, canned roast or canned ground beef or canned pork along with the canned chicken at the store. If you don't can yourself, then that's a great way to stock up. But you're looking at 20 to 30 cans of protein, 30 cans of vegetables for 30 days, okay? 15 cans of fruit, 5 to 10 pounds of sugar or honey. Honey lasts forever, sugar lasts forever. Don't vacuum seal it. 1 gallon of cooking oil, 1 pound of salt, and then non-food items. Look at 12 rolls of toilet paper, 2 bars of soap, and a bottle of dish soap. There you go. Okay. Now, if you use more than that of any of those, then, change it to the numbers that work for you. In with the rice and the grains, you want to consider flour. So if you do not mill your own flour, then you want to look at adding probably 20 pounds of all-purpose flour because you can make a lot of stuff with it. This is just a framework. That's it. It's just a framework. So you're going to adjust it to your family's size, your family's dietary needs, allergies, any of that stuff. You're going to adjust that to fit your family. It's just a framework. The point is to give you a target, to visualize, okay, this is the route that I have to go. If you want to go farther, double it. If you need to start smaller, cut it down. That's not a problem. It's flexible. That's the whole purpose of it. It's built to be flexible so that it can accommodate literally anybody. Anybody. You can do this. I have faith in you. It's not as hard as it seems. It's not as daunting as it seems. And if you are running into financial difficulties, please, please, please find out where your local food banks are, because a lot of these foods are provided by the food banks and they can help you get started. They can help you make sure that you have the food that you need to sustain yourself. So my friends, stocking a pantry doesn't have to be scary. Don't let it be scary, okay? It doesn't have to break the bank. That's not what it's there for. Actually, it's just there for the opposite. Start with what you eat, add slowly, shop smart, because you're super smart anyway. Calculate how much your family really needs. And remember, it's not about panic. It's about purpose. Never about panic. Preparedness is a lifestyle. It's not a race. It's not a sprint. Nobody is better than anybody else at it. Nobody gets a first place medal, okay? It is an individual task that you take the responsibility for yourself and your household, because literally nobody else is out there to save us. 1 can at a time, 1 jar at a time, 1 shelf at a time. You'll be amazed at how quickly it adds up. Until next time, everybody, be safe. Keep stacking it to the rafters, my friends.